university is not something that one simply opens, like a savings account or a jar of pickles. Any self-respecting academic institution was doubtlessly opened long ago by dignified people who wore bowler hats and spoke via subtitle. The world is a creation of the past, and it is our job to keep it all going and try not to touch anything.
If you don't know where your class is it really worth going? Security breach. Please change your passwords. Sorry. Students for Scientography. Students should check in before trying to learn. The academic year is starting. I hope you have a pencil.
Sir Nigel Bickleworth on 2 Point Radio. Greetings, and welcome to the show. We all have our passion projects, don't we? Our dreams, our hobbies, our oddly job-like hobbies and odd jobbies. Personally, I moonlight as a writer of mysteries. Up next, I'll be taking you to a black and white world of mystery and intrigue. The much-anticipated return of Inspector Blanbury in Pinched Puddings and Just Desserts.
Class starting in the science lab. assessment. Hitting the box doesn't mean what you think it means. Students are reminded that there's no such thing as free time.
It was a summery kind of summer, and Blambury had scarcely caught his breath, fresh after outsmarting the smuggly cat burglar when an invitation to tea dove inauspiciously through his letterbox. Such are the demands on a world-class detective and conversationalist.
No rest for a world-class detective and conversationalist.
Arriving at Flackley House, our inspector was met with two familiar smells. One promised scones, the other, calamity.
Students are reminded to be in two places at once. University gives you a bright future and clouds it with debt. Photography lecture, starting now. students are reminded to find themselves.
And so to tea, where the sandwiches came and went without the intervention of evil, though Blambury feared the host had been a little overzealous with the cucumber, when, quite of a sudden, the lights went out.
Oh, sorry, I'm always doing that.
The light came up, and Blambury began to doubt himself. Perhaps what he felt was nothing but a herring of red. Alas.
The trifle! The trifle! They've stolen the trifle!
No unauthorized talking on campus. Thank you. Asked questions. No, your chicken should not be pink. Doctor, return to the hospital. Thank you.
At Jumbo, we know it's our employees that are the big deal. That's why they get the Jumbo treatment. Mobile stationery, toilet substitute, sip of milk, leg rooms, dental surgeries, additional headrest, and our famous data system analysis training program system. Or FDAP-STAPS. I'm Jumbo McNally, and I wish I worked here.
There's a fly in here. stupid questions will make you look stupid. Tuition fees may be spent on administrative bonuses. Hard work may or may not pay off.
We interrupt our mystery for the news. Hogsport Lighthouse gone missing. Student strikes cause university closure. And mayor threatens to triple taxes. Lovely. Now that's done, we can return to the matter at hand. Will Inspector Blanbury crack the case? Wouldn't you like to know?
This is a test announcement, not a real announcement. Students are reminded that you came here on purpose. questions. Your food is cold because the oven wasn't on.
But who would do such a thing? Who would stoop to the lowly heights populated only by reprobates and trifle thieves?
To the kitchen!
Indeed, the trifle was gone without so much as a trace. However, in its place was a single white glove.
Why, a glove? The fiend must have removed it in the excitement. What good is a glove, dear Blenbury? A glove is no pudding. Ah, but it may yet lead us to pudding. Fetch the Hans.
If you hear this, please drink some water. Thank you. The more you revise, the longer you've been revising. We're approaching the end of the academic year. Try not to worry. The academic year is now over. End of year results published. Now. The summer is a good time to relax and prepare for next year.
They followed the jolly hounds through the grounds, the crunch of the gravel building to a crescendo of narrative tension, and then to grass and sight of the lake and the old willow, where, sitting against the weeping tree, they found the gloveless culprit. None other than Foggleton, the butler.
Oh, Foggleton! How could you? I'm fired, aren't I? I should think so, yes.
Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you. Announcement. The campus just got bigger, not necessarily better. Distracted students should pretend that they're listening. The timetable is now live. Now taking students for virtual normality. Students should check in before trying to learn.
As they say, the butler did it. It just goes to show you never can trust the help. Well, that's another masterpiece in the collection. But how do I do it? Really, it's a deliciously delicate balance of extreme talent and profound humility. Join me again tomorrow for more criminally underrated radio. Ta-ta!
Students are asked not to ask questions. frustrated. Visitors should be checked in and then removed immediately. Education is non-refundable. Frequently asked questions. Yes, we are testing you. If it's not on your CV, it didn't happen. Not to me. students are reminded that I'm not your mum.
Good morning. You're listening to Ricky Hawthorne on 2 Point Radio. You're listening to 2 Point Radio. This is Ricky Hawthorne. It's a few minutes past something. We'll check on those numbers while you listen to some music.
Frequently asked questions. No, I will not be your friend. We're sorry for the litter that you... Oh, sorry, that's mine. Students are reminded to set reminders.
It's funny how your routines can change after all these years. Lately, I've been enjoying a bowl of hog logs in the morning. It's true what they say in the advert. There just wasn't enough pig in my morning. This next song is for the hog log lady.
Plagiarism is not a belief system. transferable. Students are reminded that this is the fun part.
Recently, while walking home, I was chased into a tree by a group of students barking like dogs. I went into a primal state of self-preservation, hissing at them like a feral cat. I've learned since that it was some kind of initiation for a society. Oh, I suppose now that I know it was a joke, I can see the funny side. Ha! Young people, eh? The terrifying scamps.
Staff are reminded to care about students. Students are reminded to have the time of their lives. Frequently asked questions. No, I've not seen your frog.
New to the Crumley student range. Unfoldable pizza. It'll fill you up without filling up your cupboards. Crumley's unfoldable pizza. It's a fraction the size of your average frozen pizza.
Whoa.
And when it's unfolded, well, you've got yourself a whole pizza. Just like Mama used to make.
Staff are reminded that dogs don't eat homework. Staff are reminded to be inspirational. It's almost the end of the academic year, in case you hadn't noticed. The academic year is now over. End of year results published now. The academic year is starting soon. Was there anything we wanted to do?
You're listening to Ricky Hawthorne on 2 Point Radio. Here's the weather. Things are looking cold on the pointy mountains. You might want to wear a second pair of shoes. I suppose skis are technically a second pair of shoes. What they lack in terms of providing warmth, they make up for by being a lot like very thin toboggans. Play that music.
Announcement. Healthy body, healthy mind. I came up with that. frequently asked questions. No, you can't have an extension. Announcement. Plants need water, remember?
I recently joined an amateur plumbing club. Oh, it's a lot of fun. The pipes, the tools, the rush when you blow a valve. The competitive element is one thing, but it's also great training for when something goes wrong at home. After all, with the right attitude and a little experience, there's no problem you can't make worse.
The campus is expanding, even more than usual. Unattended sandwiches will be eaten by me. Students are reminded that some grades are personal.
In the news today, pop star Jasmine Odyssey has everybody talking after sharing an image of a spatula. Fans are debating whether this latest post is a cryptic suggestion of music to come or simply a kitchen-based mistake. It's hard to say, but what is clear is that we'll be discussing it for days.
Tuition fees are expensive, and education is priceless. The timetable has now been published. Schedule your lives accordingly. Students should check in before trying to learn. Students are asked not to ask questions. Frequently asked questions. No, your chicken should not be pink.
That's the end of our show, but I'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Here's to that. Here's to time's relentless advance. Here's to you, 2 Point County. Playing us out, we've got an absolute firecracker. Good night.
Students are reminded that some grades are personal. are reminded that I'm not your mum. Plagiarism is not a belief system. Visitors should be checked in and then removed immediately.
Sir Nigel Bickleworth. Cheers, cheers! On 2-Point Radio, forget what you're doing and give in to the saccharine melodies of my voice. I am Sir Nigel Bickleworth, and you may not know it, but you've just made a wonderful decision. The finest radio show in town, coming right up.
If you hear this, please drink some water. Thank you. Staff are reminded to care about students. The more you revise, the longer you've been revising.
This week on Sir Nigel Reviews, we'll be talking about a modern beat combo, a group that call themselves the Helium Baboons. I must admit, while it may not be my usual cup of beef tea, for contemporary mindlessness, and that's what this is, it was not as bad as most of today's dirge and drivel. Helium Baboons, not as bad as I feared they would be. 2 shrugs out of a possible 5.
Frequently asked questions. Yes, we are testing you. Hard work may or may not pay off. Frequently asked questions. No, I will not be your friend.
It's time for Spill the Tea, where we take some finely dried hearsay from our shameless county and strain it for all the precious nectar we can. Education Minister Tarquin Foxbridge is under scrutiny for describing 2 Point's youth as ambitionless nitwits, and I can see why. I can only hope that it's an abridged form of the full quotation. it would be remiss of him to forget that they are also loud, foolhardy, crass, smelly, and generally hopeless.
Students are reminded that you came here on purpose. If you don't know where your class is it really worth going? Students are reminded to have the time of their lives. End of year is approaching. It's too late to start trying.
Cheesy gubbins are back. Where did they go? Nowhere! Cheesy gubbins. The only thing you can count on.
The academic year is starting soon. Was there anything we wanted to do? End of year results published. Now! Enjoy your summer. I know I will.
And now, for the results of last week's sonnet writing competition. I must say I was appalled, if not surprised. They were lacking structure, they were lacking soul. Some of you wouldn't know an iamb from a dactyl. We'll be rolling the competition on to next week, so send in your sonnets. They can't get any worse.
The campus is expanding, even more than usual. There's a fly in here. Education is non-refundable. This is a test announcement, not a real announcement.
My respect for those that choose chivalric and knightly pursuits. Well, it's really very large. The Bickleworths, after all, come from a rich and prestigious line of people on and near horses. That being said, feudal aristocracy use their hands far too much for my liking. The swordsmanship, the adventuring. Have you ever held a lance? It's a chore. If you're so important, why are you doing all that work? Rule smarter, not harder.
Students are reminded to set reminders. Students are reminded to find themselves. Frequently asked questions.